Let's get Bill Essayli on. Maybe he can explain all this. Bill, what is going on there?
Great question. So here's what we know so far. Last week, they amended the public safety bills to add the poison pills. And remember, all of this is done as leverage to try to convince the DAs and the sheriffs to pull this ballot initiative. The deadline to do that is Thursday. What's clear now is that's not going to get pulled. This ballot initiative will be on the ballot in November.
Good.
So that's the good news.
All right.
We're winning. All right. So what's the latest on the bills? My understanding is they don't have the votes to pass them this week. They need 54 votes because the way the amendments were written, they were written as an urgency clause, meaning you need 2/3 to pass them so they can go into effect immediately. So because of the work of you, John, and your listeners, there's been enough pressure put on vulnerable Dems that they are not supporting that. So they do not have the votes. They don't have 54 votes in the assembly to pass those. So now they're switching to a new tactic. And by the way, John, I mean, I was a prosecutor. I feel like I'm at the stage of the trial now where it's close to verdict time and the defense knows they're losing. So they're just doing crazy crap to try to do anything to prevent the inevitable. So their latest gimmick now is to come up with some sort of competing ballot initiative that the legislature will put on the ballot to confuse and trick the voters so that way the other one doesn't pass. Frankly, they would prefer both of them not to pass. But this is a trick to have competing ballot measures to confuse the public. So that's their latest great idea. On that, there is a deadline in the election code to put that on the ballot. But I just found out this morning that the deadline doesn't really apply to them because they could just insert a line in their bill suspending that election code. And basically, they have until these ballots go out to print to get the Secretary of State this language. So that's going to be a little bit more time to figure out if that's going to happen or not.
What would be in this?
We have no idea. And I don't think it matters. I think they just want to put something on the ballot that's watered down, that they can fool people into thinking, oh, this is the real public safety initiative. And I'm sure this one would get a much better title and summary than the real one. They just want to put something on the ballot to confuse voters. That's the whole purpose of it.
Is it true that
we don't know yet?
Yeah. Is it true there are some Democrats against this retail theft package because they're afraid after the dust settles in November, the retail theft bill might survive, and they don't even want that. They don't even want their own bill to live.
Yeah, so this is how crazy it is. Their caucus, their majority is so big. They're becoming fractured. So on one end, you have some Democrats that still say they believe in public safety, and on the other ones, you have ones that don't even believe in that. They don't believe the police is legitimate. They don't believe prison's legitimate, and so you have those two groups on the ends, on the extremes, sort of coming together opposed to this package. It's sort of a perfect storm where, they don't even support the underlying bills that they threw the poison pills on. So
they don't think a police force and a prison system is legitimate. How many Democrats in the legislature truly believe that?
I would say probably at least 10 to 15, including the Attorney General's wife, who's an assembly member.
Well, that must be an interesting dynamic at home, huh? 10
he believes it too. I think he believes it too.
10 to 15, this is total between the Assembly and the Senate. They don't think police forces and prison systems are legitimate. They should all be abolished.
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I would say at least, yes. That's true believers who actually believe that.
Right, yeah. When did this happen? When did do their constituents know this? Because I'm guessing some of them come from poor neighborhoods where there's a lot of crime, and it's their constituents who are getting victimized by the criminals running rampant in their neighborhoods.
They have these talking points. They always say, like, prison doesn't work. We need to spend more money on education than we do on prisons. The police, are racist. They just have all these talking points that regurgitate, they reuse.
They don't have
a lot of them are on the Public Safety Committee. So if you want, watch some Public Safety Committee hearings, you'll hear exactly what they say.
Yeah. But the Democratic leadership puts these people on the Public Safety Committee on purpose and then blames them when they block crime initiatives.
Exactly. I had a bill this year, John, that would have required an armed school resource officer on every school campus to protect kids. And they killed it. And they said that the police with guns are too dangerous to have on campus, and they're going to pick on all the brown and black kids. And they voted my bill down. I said, well, what's your answer the next time a school shooter comes on campus? You know, and they say, well, we're going to go after guns. Well, good luck. That doesn't work.
I don't understand why they see all the carnage in the streets, and a lot of it affects young brown and black men, and they don't seem affected by all those deaths, by all that destruction that goes on in those communities. It's so weird. I mean,
it's bizarre. It's bizarre. Maybe you should have them on.
Yeah, right. Nobody is ever willing to talk publicly about this, and you're right. They just have their stupid talking points. You'd never discuss anything in depth. You can't even get to the second layer of conversation. They just blurt out nonsense at you. All right, so
the pendulum is swinging back. We are winning right now. I think this ballot initiative is going to pass. We just have to keep the pressure on. We want to make sure that these Democrats also don't vote for this ballot initiative once they draft it. I think we can win this, John.
You mean this second ballot initiative, right?
Yeah, the fake one. I think we got to start naming this. We have the real one and the fake one. We got to make sure the fake one doesn't get out of this legislature.
Yeah, the real one is a done deal. It's going to be on the ballot. The fake one they're working on now, but we don't have any details. All right, but this is on purpose. They make it difficult to follow because then they know that no news reporter will bother to try to write an article about this. I've seen next to nothing in the Los Angeles Times about this whole issue. Next to nothing.
Oh, but John, they're all here right now. You know what they're covering?
What?
We're just about to vote on declaring today Willie Brown Jr. Day. And he's here. Willie Brown is in our chamber right now.
Yeah, you know what? He was the original troublemaker 30 years ago on this stuff. He was blocking 3 strikes bills 30 years ago. Makes me want to vomit when I see people lionize him and praise him and honor him, because he caused a lot of death and destruction in his day by blocking crime bills. All right. Thanks for coming on, Bill.
Anytime, John.